Hi there, welcome back to A Well-Purposed Woman. I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm going to show you how to knit No Fuss pumpkin. And these pumpkins are so warm and cozy and just perfect for fall, but they're really super easy to make, so it's kind of a little bit of a deception when you see them because it looks as if they've been knit, but really it's just a quick, easy craft. So the supplies you need to get started for today's craft are scissors, a hot glue gun, a hair donut. You can do any size. I have done small, medium, or large. This is actually, I think, considered an extra large hair donut. You'll need a wooden stem or a stem. You can use anything you want. Cork, cinnamon sticks, real stem. I'm using wood today. You're gonna need the chunky braided yarn. So I have this chunky yarn and it's size 7. It's a braided yarn. I got it at Hobby Lobby. That's what I'm going to be using for today's craft. You're going to want some vine floral wire. And this is just a brown wire that's kind of covered with like a paper mache type thing. You're going to want some leather or some felt, and that's going to be for the pumpkin leaves. And then if you prefer written instructions, I actually have a free download below for written instructions that includes a pattern for the pumpkin leaves. So if you're the kind of person who likes that thing, you might find this helpful, and you can just print that off below. There's a link for it. Here. So just take and measure out however much yarn you need. And again, for the medium size, you want about 90 inches. If it's larger, you're going to want a little bit more, and so on. And the reason why you want to know the amount of yarn is because you're going to cut it out and then eventually go in and out of the hair donut. But if you're short, it's actually okay. You can just cut off more and attach it. So take your chunky yarn that you have, and if you have little plastic rubber bands, like the tiny kind that you can use in hair, I'm actually going to twist that at the end of the yarn so it doesn't unravel. It's not completely necessary, but it helps hold your yarn in place. So once you have your yarn cut out, then the next step is to take your hair donut, and you're just going to take your hot glue gun and attach the chunky yarn at any location on the inside of the hair donut. So take the end of, you got to be careful because the hair donut can melt, so just whenever you're using hot glue, just be very careful. So attach it there on the donut, and if you prefer, you could actually just use some floral wire and attach it that way without the hot glue. It might actually be a little bit safer. But attach the chunky yarn to the center of the hair donut. All you're gonna really do is just continue to pull the yarn through the center and then wrap it around. So you're just wrapping the chunky yarn around the hair donut. And that's really all there is to making the pumpkin part of it, or the body of the pumpkin, I should say. So just take your yarn and keep going in and out until you cover the entire body of the pumpkin. And this is kind of a cool craft because it ends up looking like you knit the pumpkin, or it's like a knit pumpkin, even though you're not doing any knitting. You're just wrapping the chunky yarn around the hair donut. And you can actually do this craft with anything that has a hole in the center, like toilet paper, really, probably. I've never done that, but you could use that. You could use a styrofoam pumpkin that has a hole in it. You just have to make sure the hole is big enough for the chunky yarn to go through, or use yarn that's a little bit more slender so that it will go through nicely. So just continue to wrap it around the exterior, or I mean the body of the pumpkin. I'm gonna just put it on fast forward and just continue to wrap it. If you have any questions on wrapping it, just post them below, but I think you probably get the idea that you're just wrapping the yarn around the pumpkin. And look how cute that looks, doesn't it? And it's so easy. It's just wrapping this beautiful chunky yarn around the pumpkin. So let's just hot glue the end in place. And it's kind of nice to try to fill in the hole a little bit with the yarn. Now, the next thing is just to add your stem. So you want to pick a wooden stem or a real stem, whichever one you prefer, that is about the same size as the hole. So this is a pretty big, generous hole. So I actually cut a fairly large wooden stem for this. And all you do then is just put it in the center, and you can see how cute that ends up being. If you want or prefer real stems, you could just glue a real stem on. And I think that actually looks super cute too. It might be a little big, this stem, for this pumpkin. I'm gonna go with the wood stem because that's what I did with these other two, and I just want a complete set. So then you can hot glue that in place, or you can just stick it in the center. Probably will stick better if you hot glue it, so I would recommend that. And then the last two finishing touches to embellish this pumpkin are to put on the curlicues and the leaves. So I'm gonna take a pencil with my floral wire and just go round and round until I get a spiral look, and then just gonna cut that off, and then you can just hot glue that in place on your pumpkin. I'm going to actually cut out the leaf quick so that I can see how that looks before I hot glue the curlicue in place. So again, you can use the pattern below. Just print that off and you get the written instructions, or you can just go for it and cut off a leaf that has several different little notches in it, I guess. So this is a little leather leaf, so that can just be attached on your pumpkin there. And then look how cute these end up being. These are just done in, you saw how long it took, probably less than 10 minutes. You can have these really cute little pumpkins. It's a great craft to do with kids or friends when you're just talking or chatting or sitting around. So let me know if you have any questions below. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you do hit that subscribe button so we can keep in touch and you can keep getting videos as soon as they're made. So thanks again, and we'll see you later.